What is up, Scarlet, bringing you a Scarlet and Violet breakdown analysis trailer video. So usually I've been starting with a whole bunch of Satine facts, you know, cause that's how it was as of late. And there's just so much to it, like I swear there's so much lore upon lore upon lore, because there's all these unicorn properties and the poison properties and these metal properties. So here's another one for you. So back then the tomato was known as the devil's fruit. The reason for it is because people believed that it was causing a bunch of food poisoning and illnesses and even death. What they didn't know back then is because all the mercury and arsenic that I had mentioned that was in multiple things, like the queen's makeup or just any makeup in general that has arsenic, and like hats that they wore back then that had mercury in them. A bunch of their silverware had mercury in them as well. Plates, knives, forks, you can name it, they probably have it. That whenever they have served these tomatoes with the silver plate underneath them that had mercury in it, the poison metal would seep into the tomato and it would get the person sick or even death, like I mentioned. So much so that people believe it was the tomato itself. Either that or they believe that other people was trying to poison them, or even the butler is to blame. It wasn't until years later that they realized that the tomato was purely innocent and that it only absorbed what contents you give it, pretty much. So yeah, like I mentioned, the Satine rabbit hole just continues to go deeper and deeper, and it's crazy. Like I tell you, like the poison properties, and from there it just branches on and continues. Besides that, let's just go continue with our first trailer, so let's go cover it. So it begins with a drawing showing what the three types of journeys that you could go to. We see Slowpokes and Slowbros on here, so it's confirmed that Slowking is also in the game, as Koraidon is going through here. Nemona's talking over here. The treasure hunt is a huge part of Naranja Academy in school year, and this is talking to, of course, the Scarlet character, the main character that is. It's a pretty good view of the town. I really like the way it looks from up here. And with the opposite, with Miraidon going through this like savannah area next to the Qfint, we're more just making our own adventures, says Nemona, going to the beginning of the little other place. And I know that when this Pokemon showed up, everybody was just freaking out. We're gonna get to this Pokemon in a little bit. Oh, and that Pokemon, and that Pokemon. We're more just making our own adventures to see what experiences Paldea's got to offer, says Nemona. So this is very early in the beginning of the game. Here's a map of what is showing over here. I think this is the grass gym area, I think. And there's the Pokemon centers showing that you could fly there. I'm not sure what the other symbols mean, but it's pretty interesting nonetheless. Set as destination. So these are for markers, so you could just go there. Showing that there's this also like, it almost looks like a canyon maze area because it very looks convoluted. And then to the right, a grassy area. So maybe these are just the surrounding areas of that place for right now. I mean, maybe not so much right next to the grass gym, but pretty damn close, I would say. Of course, with the three places, they're gonna announce which one it is. And you know how I said this was Team Streak or whatever I said before? Face off against rebellious students, Starfall Street. This is the introduction, and I was very much wrong because I thought it was gonna be traditional versus new age or something like that. This is Team Star. As you can see, he's doing the star symbol. We're Team Star, kid. We burn too bright to even look at directly, but you knew that, right? Says Grunt A. Like, I wish that when they were rebellious student, they look a little bit more rebellious than that, but I guess this works. They're wearing helmets, they have sunglasses, except they're more like star glasses at this case. Their suspenders are down. They're freaking rebels, and I don't even think they're wearing socks, so you know that they're rebellious. But you see the Scarlet Grunt male and then the Violet Grunt female with like their star symbols on their ties, and I mean they're pretty much wearing uniform anyway. It's not that rebellious. Heads up, gang, some jumped up kid has wandered in thinking he could raid our base. So yeah, I already knew it was the base. I mean, it was pretty obvious, I would say, but you can see the difference with the Scarlets and Violet teams. It's just that's their colors going through like some type of scaffolding or something like that. But yeah, the Scarlet character has his Fuecoco out. As you see the Violet character right here surrounded by these other ones. They're probably cheering for the Grunt, trying to take down this goody two-shoes student in their eyes. Back to the Scarlet trainer with his Fuecoco attacking the Houndour, and this is a whole different type of battling style. These are auto battles. So there's a function called the Let's Go function, which lets you have your Pokemon follow around you, and they can do pretty much what they want but still tag along with you. That won't disrupt the flow of the game. So for example, like they could find a barrier, an item or something, or they could just fight Pokemon to themselves and they could gain experience from it. I get a huge mystery dungeon vibe from it since I'm playing the game right right now that like, you know, hopefully my partner Pokemon doesn't wander off and thinks he's gonna take on a level 68 Tyranitar. You're like, no, what are you doing? And then he ends up dying. So I'm not really sure what happens if that scenario happens. And as you can see, Oricorio is in the game, so that's confirmation that the other forms are there too. But that's pretty much what auto battles are. And there's like symbols up on their, like over their head, like the musical symbol and then the 2 double comma symbols. I'm not really sure what that is. I think it means that their attack hit or something. I'm not sure. And now with this Scarlet character approaching the star tent, and then with this engine approaching, this is something very, very important that like not too many people have even noticed, especially me first time watching around. But we've seen this card before, you know, we've seen them that there was no driver inside. Not that it matters, because this thing right here, as you see the outline that I'm making, or I'm not even sure what I'm making, but just look at the engine. This engine is a Pokemon on itself. It doesn't have a name, it hasn't even been confirmed, but it's just showing a preview of what it is. But it's very much in line of Team Star. But my prediction is it is a steel ghost type. Is like something that possesses engines and makes cars go insane or something. That's my guess on it. Because there's also like some art showing that these Scarlet and Violet characters are like, oh my god, as like the engine with the tongue sticking out is like basically hunting them and chasing them with the Team Star car. Well, I guess that's a better look of it right there. This person is Mela, prepared to get messed up. So let's take a look at Mela inside the website. So Mela, or maybe it's Mila, who knows? I'll just say Mila. I think Mila sounds correct. Mila is the boss of Team Star's fire crew, the Cheddar Squad, or Cheater Squad. I'm not really sure what that is. As the team's best all-rounder, Mila fixes any of every problem thrown her way. Though her methods are heavy-handed, she leaves a forceful and gruff impression, but her steadfast devotion to completing anything she puts her mind to has earned her the trust of her teammates. And just to note, even though it says the boss of Team Star's fire crew and the Cheddar Squad, that kind of means that she owns her own splinter group. It's like its own branch and not the overall Team Star as a whole, if that makes sense. So just to get that out the way. For sure, she's one of the commanders. And it kind of shows more that like, since this is the first introduction to Team Star, it kind of more shows that like Penny is still kind of wondering where she should join the group or not, because I kind of get that vibe, unless she already does work for them. But I could kind of believe either way. She looks like she's still kind of debating whether she should join them or not, because I could kind of believe that Penny and Mila are sisters or something. But Mila right here, of course, holding a quick ball. That's kind of interesting. The school's troublemakers, boss of Team Star's fire crew, Mila. Did she send out a Torkoal with the quick ball? Hang on, I need to replay that. Why does she have a Torkoal and a quick ball? What the hell? But a Torkoal nonetheless. Fuecoco versus this. And it's kind of cool because this is a different style of fight, because she fights on the high ground on this like casino car or Vegas car or whatever. So I don't know how much in effect the battle will shift because she's on the car, or maybe it's just the type of battle it is by itself. Like there's no difference at all that the car does whatsoever except for the elevation it's on. Alright, for this side, it's gonna talk about the second storyline that you could do, the Path of Legends. Seek out the legendary Herba Mystica, which could be like what Arvin and you was looking for with the crystal trees and looking for the mysteries or any clues that could lead you to, you know, the Herba Mystica, I guess. I'm pretty sure that has something to do with the crystal roots that we find underground, but we'll see. But the Path of Legends showing this new Pokemon, and of course Arvin flexing and all that, an upperclassman and a gifted cook. I'm not sure why they're reintroducing them, but they are, because we already talked about Arvin before. Look at that, I really like that. You see the balloons in the background? There's like a Premier Ball and a Drifloon, and I can't tell what that light blue thing is next to Drifloon because it's facing the other way, and that's a Eevee balloon. That looks cool. If I was at like a Pokemon theme park and they sold these like balloons, I don't care how old I am. I could be 85 years old and I'll get myself a balloon. That'd be really cool. I don't know how well a Typhlosion balloon will look, but anyway, I'm getting off topic. Me and her are gonna be too busy visiting the layers of Tines and nabbing the Herba Mystica. Wait, so Nemona is actually involved in this more so? And as you see, the Koraidon's approaching these Pokemon, so I might as well introduce these Pokemon. Let's go cover them. I'm sure they're gonna do it in a second anyway. Clough, a Pokemon with powerful claws. Big, meaty claws! It is the ambush Pokemon as this category. Rock type, 4'3", 170 74.2 pounds. The ability Anger Shell and Shell Armor. Spinning eyes that leaves no blind spots. Cloth can rotate its protruding eyeballs to see everything about it, eliminating all blind spots. It latches upside down on cliffs to ambush its prey from above. However, Cloth eventually gets dizzy from the blood rushing to its head, so it can't stay upside down too long. Claws that are both strong and dexterous. Cloth's claw can hold onto things very tightly, not letting prey go once within its grasp. It uses one claw to hold up against in place while using the other to break its guard and hit it where it hurts. Even if a Cloth loses a claw in battle or elsewhere, it will grow back after a while. In certain parts of the Paldea region, Cloth claws are considered valuable cooking ingredient. So that kind of reminds me of like the shed tail thing that like the other Pokemon had, just because like it takes it off and they could grow another one. And we already seen that Krabs could tear off his own arms without giving a shit, because it's gonna grow back without a problem. I'm pretty sure I have that video clip somewhere. If not, then you probably already seen it, but we'll see here. Ability Anger Shell. This is a new ability. Cloth's Anger Shell ability is making the first appearance in the Pokemon series. When Cloth's HP drops to half or less, the Pokemon gets angry. This lowers its defense and special defense stat, but boosts its attack, special attack, and speed stat. So I'm not sure how much defense it has originally, but the speed to me is a problem, because it can be faster than your other Pokemon, especially if they're like a little bit more levels than you and you outsped it before, because maybe it's slow naturally, that now it won't have a problem. Like imagine if this Pokemon Swords Dances, you get a load of half, and now another attack grows happen, plus its speed, and now it absolutely outspeeds everything in your team and completely kills everything. That could be a huge problem. I think that's the first time they showed the way the stat raises look, because there's it insignified with red, and with the defense drop and the special defense drop, it's drawn on purple, so that's kind of interesting. Something else about Cloth is I kind of get a whole puppet feel to it, and it's kind of ironic too, because I've been watching Naruto lately, and I'm at that episode where they're fighting the puppet master guy, and that's exactly what this looks like, because the mouth and everything, and you could kind of see inside the eyes, and like the eye itself is attached to something, so that's kind of why it could see in 360 degrees. But there are other crabs that in actuality does have 360 degrees, but it's better with their like eye shape. If it's depending on what the eye shape is, the better it sees, whether it's like a big eye shape that kind of looks like basically the shape of a lava lamp, if that makes sense, because there's different species of crabs compared to real life crabs that does have this ability to 360 degrees. This would be the lesser to not see as well, especially since it goes upside down on the cliffs and everything and it can't stay there as long. There's probably better ways of ambushing Pokemon. As for the fluff on the parts of his body, like there are plenty of crabs that kind of has that, whether it's like plants that it puts on itself for camouflage or like a defense mechanism. It reminds me of Crab Brawler and Crabominable. But as the Koraidon's approaching this Pokemon, you see the Terra right here, along with like the red mounds and then the mound that we always point out, and then the ice mound behind it. And you know, come to think of it, like, you know how I kind of outlined the mound around? Like, I was gonna mention this in the other breakdown, but it's the crater that's on the mound itself, or not the mound, the map itself. But we'll point that out more once we do the map breakdown in full. But we see these two kind of reacting to it as Sprigatito's doing leafage, I believe is that move. And then I really like that this Pokemon right here is camouflaging and is looking around, and it's 360 degree vision, and it jumps out. And this Violet Trainer's covering her eyes because there's all this dust. Glow. I didn't think that was going to be the sound effect, but the Stony Cliff Titan Cloth. Just like in the 7th generation, where there was totem Pokemon, like giant Pokemon that has different abilities, as the Violet Trainer Narvin is approaching this guy. And that thing's the Stony Cliff Titan. No Cloth has gotten any business being that big. And yeah, it's way giant compared to this, and that's, I think it's the storyline of the Legends Path, is taking care of these Titan Pokemon, trying to find the Herba Mystica, whatever that could be. But it's doing Rock Smash, I believe is that move on Sprigatito. I don't know how much Rock Smash would even be boosted, because that's a pretty weak move. But that's pretty much the Legends Path. Now on to another one, the Victory Road Path. Take on the gym leaders and then try to get to the champion rank. And you're talking to this lady who has this purple, kind of gold, almost kind of greenish color, black, purple, and that. Oh, but I got ahead of myself. I'm not sure what she means, because this is literally her first words, but who knows what she said beforehand. I am Gita. Cherry chairwoman of the Pokemon League, the organization that runs these gyms. Pokemon League chairwoman Gita. Now, if we talk about Gita right quick, let's see what they have to say about that, because there is something interesting about her. Gita is the chairwoman of the Pokemon League, which operates Paldea's Pokemon gyms. Among the region's champions, she reigns supreme as the most skilled trainer of all, which is that's something that I wanted to point out, because even though she's the chairwoman and all that, being the most skilled trainer, like, wouldn't she organize herself to just be champion then and there or something? Because she's not pointing out who's this other most skilled trainer or who is even second best. She is the most skilled trainer in Paldea right now, so that's kind of interesting to me. I don't know what possible Pokemon she may have, but I feel like there's a Pokemon that kind of matches her color, because I kind of noticed these with like the other champions in Elite Four. They have like something themed about them. I get a feeling she's like something pertaining to dragon. That could just be me though, but there's no other information about that. And there's Nemona. I wonder if Nemona and Gita is related, because like that was almost immediate. Like as soon as after the Gita thing went away, she popped up. Maybe it's the older sister or something. Maybe everybody's related. I already said Penny was related to Mila and all that, and I don't know why they're reintroducing Nemona, but here she is. A trainer who shows you the ropes. Nemona. Came to see this gym, huh? That could only mean one thing. I mean, what makes you think that? You're out to earn some gym badges and take on the Pokemon League, aren't you? Yeah, that's why I'm here in the gym. I'm like not here exercising, like even though it's called the gym. The gym test. Seek out the Sunflora and Artisan. I guess that's what the town's called. And I really love this, by the way. Like the whole thing with Sunflora being here, and they're basically baby Sunflora, even though Sunkern is a thing. I love this. I think I would have loved Sunflora a lot more if it was this size, because the way it is, I don't think anybody cares about Sunflora all that much. But that confirms that Sunkern's in this game, so that's like 2 for 2 for the statues that were displayed with Dratini statue and now the Sunflora statue. Yeah, there's Sunfloras in this game. And it shows on the top, number of Sunfloras found 0, so this is the very first one you find, and this like Olympic symbol next to the pool. I don't know what that's about. I guess it's just like a little hopping thing or whatever. Look at all the baby Sunfloras just running across the thing. How do you even... This is the most lovely Sunfloras I have ever seen, but you kind of see a good part of the town. I kind of wonder if that's what the grass gym leader forced you to do, is not look for the Sunfloras in the gym, but literally the whole city or whatever. You see the windmill in the background, and then like all these flowery places next to this. And hang on, I should pause the screen so you can see the screenshot of the Sunflora statue next to these Sunfloras. It looks so weird. There it is, I got it. It looks so weird, but they're all waving goodbye or something like that. And maybe that's the cutscene that you found all of them, so maybe there's 10. I only see 9 on here, unless I missed 1 or 2. But there you go, that's what the grass gym looks like. We already pointed this out. I had a feeling it would be, unless it would have been the flying gym, but who knows. This guy, his name is Bracius, the grass type gym leader. Now looking at Bracius off the website, and I really do like his design, because he's holding like a stick, and it also looks like he's holding like a whip almost, but not really. He looks cool. It's kind of like a thorny look on his jacket. He's wearing a belt, and like even the little keychain grip is with the whip or whatever. I almost have a feeling with that stuff that he has that's how he tends to the garden a bit better. Instead of using clippers, maybe he cares about hurting the grass, so he kind of does it in a less painful way to just deal with that, you know, because like gardener still has to like do that type of stuff. Like if there's dead trees, they have to put it down, or else it would be a problem, you know. But anyway, Bracius is the gym leader of Artisan, a town that's alive with flowers and art. He specializes in using grass type Pokemon and is known as the Verdant Virtuoso, or Verdant Virtuoso. I cannot say that word right. Hang on, let me...
Virtuoso.
Yeah, Virtuoso, okay. You probably heard that. That wasn't the best of it, but the Verdant Virtuoso. As you see, Bracius is sending out Smoliv with the people watching this gym battle go down. And it's kind of interesting that they show ice and grass. It's going like, if you pick one of the 3 paths to go to, if you go to the fire path, you could take on the ice and grass grass type gym leaders like I mentioned before, because they haven't shown any other gym leaders. And also with Bracius, he is one of the blurry screenshots that I showed off before, because he's definitely one of those. So that's another semblance that, yeah, no, the leakers got it on point from that. With Smoliv using Razor Leaf on Quaxly, why do you have a Quaxly out on the Smoliv, dude? What are you doing? I can't tell if that was the Scarlet Trainer. No, yeah, it's the Scarlet Trainers, because I can see everybody else wearing orange shorts. Quaxly using Wing Attack. That's not bad. That's good that Quaxly's using Wing Attack. Besides Smoliv, Bracius uses Pseudo Wudo. Allow me to touch this workup slightly. I will call it truly Wudo. And it's kind of interesting that he points that out, but he uses the terrestrializing Pokeball to turn this thing into a grass terraform Pseudo-Wudo. And I don't know what he means about the truly Wudo, because like that could just be a pun that Pseudo-Wudo's finally grass type, or who knows, maybe with this grass terraform, maybe eventually it would change to a whole different Pokemon, but we haven't seen that here yet in the trailer. So, you know, I really hope it's the other one, like eventually in like 3 or 5 turns, if you don't kill it fast enough, it will become a stronger Pokemon. But yeah, I doubt that. Maybe it's just, you know, throwing a hat on a Meowth and he's super Meowth type of deal, but whatever. The opposing Pseudo-Wudo uses Trailblaze. That's a different move. I feel like that should be a fire move, but it's clearly grass. Kills the Quaxly no problem, and it cuts it right there, showing off the 3 storylines. Go where you want. With Koraidon running across this bridge, it's a different type of bridge though. It's like they just laid out 4 tree stumps. I like this view right here with Miraidon leaving the ice canyon, or not the ice canyon, the ice mountains and stuff, and then the first part of the grassy areas is all flowery. Go where you want and do what it is you really want to do the most with all these maps. I'm gonna try to take a look at this stuff as much as I can, because it's gonna be really tough, because this is somewhat of a city, but it looks like in a canyon place nonetheless. This is a crossroads to the right with the Pokemon Center, so I don't know where that could be. And to the left, it ends up with the lake that is looking at with some type of big building there, clearly, because there's that symbol. I'm not sure what any of this means, but at least we get a good view of this. Fair Turner Lacarte? I can't even read that. Nonetheless, you can see a good view of like these 3 places, even though I don't really know what it is. It's really hard to look at these without the main map. The majority of them are in different languages, so that's interesting enough, because I'm trying to look at these, but there's nothing that rings out any obvious clues besides there being water and next to a canyon, so it's really hard. At this screen, however, there's some Pokemon that I hadn't mentioned before. We see Metacham up there, so that means Metatite's in this game, unless I pointed out that before. Can't tell what those Pokemon are, so I can't really see what it is, but Koraidon's going through the snow, Koraidon's going through the mountains, about a rock climb. Drowsy's in the game, so that means Hypno's also in the game. Skiddo in the trainer. For Coco versus a Tropius, which means Tropius is in the game. Little city view. There's that person versus the Serena pre-evolution. I'm like blanking on the name. Scyther, which we already confirmed the Scizor there. And this place looks like a Xenoblade or something. There's Cragnole, there's Miraidon and Pelipper. There's a Koraidon in the beach setting, I think. Don't know what that is. This guy's going to the, can't tell, it's like a tall tower and building. Him running laps with the Gyarados, sure, why not? I can't tell what Pokemon that is. Is that Chansey? We already confirmed Blissey before, so yeah, Chansey was already naturally in the game. And then we also did talk about Azumarill. I'm surprised they didn't officially said that Azurill and Marrow's in the game, so yeah, it's a bit late for that. Goodra, so that means all the other pre-evolutions are in the game too. Q-Font looks like it's about a high 5, but I'm pretty sure they're just saying hi. A Magikarp, I think, and a Dunsparce. And there was leakers saying that Dunsparce will get an evolution real soon, but who knows? We'll see once we cross that bridge to see if Dunsparce does get an evolution or not, because I would like to see that. The trainer with the Sprigatito, and then like Satine versus a Zangoose, I believe. I don't remember if I confirmed if there was Zangooses before, but if I hadn't, then there you go. I'll probably count all the Pokemon later of how much we have caught, but yeah, it zooms back in, you see Koraidon and Miraidon doing their own thing. Paldean, Wooper, and the little Gumi right there. That's pretty adorable. And it should be in the marsh area. That is actually correct, that it prefers that, and then when it rains, once it's a Sliggoo, it'll turn into a Goodra. All that makes perfect sense. And then like the new Pokemon, little Grafaiai here, marking the trees. It kind of looks like a weird screen going on there, but they're both hanging out. It's kind of astonishing that they announced it this early and they're just both hanging out there being being friends, even though they're both tutorial. You know, whatever. Cyclizar versus the Breloom. Can't believe it took me a while to announce that there was Shroomish and Breloom in the game, but yeah. And then like another view of this with Komala. I don't think I've seen that yet, so it's confirmed that that guy's in the game. Salamence there, which means Bagon and Shogun's in there, and all the other Pokemon I did announce, so there's that. And I did forget to mention that for the leakers, they did announce a Flamingo Pokemon, so I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm still kind of shocked that there hasn't been a Route 1 bird, but we shall see it soon. We shall see it soon. And then the Scarlet Trainer doing the mind's blown type of emote, unless that's not what it is. But I see a Pokemon Center in the background, and I think all the windmill turbines, along with the Ice Mountain. I feel like this is way up north, kind of leftish though, in a weird angle. This is another Pokemon we didn't mention before. This is Armarouge or Armarug, one of the two. I could believe either or. I heard both and they sound correct to me, so it really depends on you guys whether it's Armarouge or Armarogue. I'll read it as Armarouge at first, even though I like the word rogue better, obviously. Armarouge. You'll be able to encounter Armarouge in Pokemon Scarlet. It is a fire warrior Pokemon, fire psychic type, 4'11", 187.4 pounds, with the ability of Flash Fire. Its armor is the source of its psychic power. Armarouge's set of armor belongs to a distinguished warrior and is the source of the energy used for his psychic type moves. It also uses the psychic capabilities of his armor to control the fire energy within its body and unleash attacks. It lives by the principles of a fair fight. Armarouge believes in a fair fight and will challenge an opponent head on no matter how much stronger that opponent is. It specializes in using a sturdy armor to bolster its defenses and take down enemies with its high fire power. A move Armarouge can learn, Armor Cannon. Armor Cannon is a fire type special move in which Armarouge moves both in pauldrons to its hands and puts its arms together to form a cannon, allowing it to shoot its own armor as its blazing projectiles. This is one of the most powerful moves Armarouge can learn, but it lowers Armarouge's defense and special defense stat in exchange for that power. You'll see that move coming up, and it definitely seems like a very Mega Man-esque move because he looks like a straight up Mega Man character for sure. That's what I thought as well. Then there's this other Pokemon right here. Let's take a look at it. I like to pronounce this thing as Cerulege. Cerulege. You'll be able to encounter Cerulege in Pokemon Violet. It is the Fire Blades Pokemon. Fire Ghost type, 5'3", 136.7 pounds, with the ability of Flash Fire. Its flaming greatsword absorbs life energy. Cerulege dons an old set of armor steeped in grudges and wields blades made of fire and ghost energy. In battle, these blades transform into great swords to increase Cerulege's power. Cuts from these great swords leave wounds from which life energy will flow. Cerulege's dons an old set of armor steeped in grudges and wield blades made of fire and ghost energy. In battle, these blades transform into a great swords to increase Cerulege's power. Cut from these great swords leave wounds from which the life energy will flow. Willing to do anything to win, Cerulege prefers close quarters combat and isn't above using tactics such as sneak attacks and surprise attacks to win a battle. It uses its quick movements to capitalize on its opponent's blind spots, then closes the distance to slash its opponent with its large blades. So yeah, this Pokemon's willing to playing dirty and all that. A move Cerulege can learn, Bitter Blade. Bitter Blade is a fire type physical move that gathers the lingering regrets of the fallen into Cerulege's sword, allowing it to focus that bitterness into slashing attack. The sword then absorbs life energy from wounds they made, and the user's HP is restored by up to half the damage taken by the target. So yeah, back to the screenshots though. As you see, this is the move that they were talking about, the Armor Cannon move. It looks pretty cool. I wish that the little cannon thing was a bit more lined up better, but whatever. He's attacking this Luxio, I think, unless it was a Shanks. No, it was a Luxray. I just couldn't see it at all. And then him using Bitter Blade on the Sneasel. I don't know, is it a fire type physical move? Because if it's Ghost, why would you do that to Sneasel? But nonetheless, I'm pretty sure they said fire physical move. I just read the damn thing and I already forgot. You see the Scarlet and the Violet character right in front of them, and all the characters moving quick, like Clavel and Professor Sada, Professor Turo, and then like Gita and all that. We've seen Grusha in the past videos, Arvin over here, Stargrunt, Mila, and then the mysterious part about Penny. Who knows what's gonna happen to her. And then Bracius terraforming his Sudowoodo. Oh, and Grusha's been shown to do that too. I wonder what his terraform is gonna look like. I don't know if it's gonna be as simple as, I don't know, I feel like the terraform should change some of the Pokemon drastically. Not just Sudowoodo and games just call him truly Wudo. Just hope that a Pokemon does need this crystallized form to change into something completely else. But Nemona's using the Terra form. I'm pretty sure it's just the normal Terra form that you'll see all the time rather than some of the time. But the Violet trainer terraforming, and the 3 starters with its terraforms doing a water move on I can't even tell what that was. It looked like a grass type. Can't tell. Oh yeah, it was the Sudowoodo. Okay, why would you do a water move on it unless it's grass rock? Brigadito doing his move on the cloth, and Fuecoco doing his fire Terra move. I legit don't see what that is. Oh my god, could not told you what that move was, or not that move, but that Pokemon. A Lechonk, I think. I swear I see like some bits and pieces of it, and then we see it panning out to the grass and then showing off the games and where it comes out. November 18th, 2022. So there you go. One thing I did wanted to mention with the terraforming, because like I hadn't mentioned it before because I was still like trying to get out all this information about just everything pretty much. That like the terraforming, I feel like could have been done a little bit better, because I feel like it could have been more better instead of just putting on hats on other Pokemon and then just calling it like a different type to make it obvious. I think it would have been cool if, like, for example, a Psyduck, he has like the all crystal all around him, right? And like just typical what we already seen before. Take away the hats, make it so that the crystal will outline what it would evolve into. Like for example, like the Psyduck, it will evolve into Golduck, right? So make the crystals outline what it would look like as this Golduck, but still a Psyduck. Make the extra crystallized, like he'll have like his hair go backwards and everything. You'll have like this extra stuff on his fingers that kind of has sharper points to it, and like the webs on his feet a little bit more out. That's what I mean. I feel like that would look a lot better, because that's that Psyduck trying to be a Golduck, but trying to get stronger than that because of the terraforming or something pertain to that level. And I'm not sure what, like, because I had thought about that. I'm all like, that would be cool. And that's what I would have preferred more than like, oh hey, this is a water fountain on this Psyduck's head. I don't know what it would look like if it was the other way around. Like, what if Golduck has terraforming? Would it just try to have elements in this crystal to show him being a Psyduck again, and it's just a combined power of Golduck and Psyduck? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that would look, and I feel like it would take a lot more time to clean up this game if it was that, because you have to individualize every Pokemon to make it this way. I mean, there's some stuff that I do like with the terraforming. I like that they're bringing back old school stuff like the ghost and like the balloons for Pikachu. You know, I like that a lot. We haven't seen all types yet though, but we shall see at one point or another. And clearly I was wrong about the whole team streak thing. We saw Pokemon with this team star and they're just rebellious students. I thought they were gonna be like, oh well, stick to tradition, you guys lost your way with technology, or the other way around. It's all like, oh well, we have technology, you gotta move on from tradition, dude. Like, you have to get with the times. We got technology, we should use it. Stop sticking to the past, dude. Like, I thought it was gonna be that, like one or the other, but it seems to be down the line just rebellious students. I'm kind of intrigued of like the other storylines and where it takes me. Honestly, when I play this game, I'm not sure what direction I want to take the game into, so I'll cross that bridge once we get there. And like I said before, if you guys do want me to play this game, you know, just say so, and I might use that separate next to the 10th Let's Play. We could do the 10th Let's Play and Pokemon Scarlet at the same time, because Pokemon Scarlet is clearly speaking my name and I wouldn't mind playing it. Really don't know what team I'm gonna assemble. We'll cross that bridge once we get there as well, but let me know if you guys will be interested in seeing me play Pokemon Scarlet, because letting me know ahead of time will get me prepared to and get all the stuff, because I don't have an Elgato. All I have is a Dazzle, and I don't think they'll be good enough to record off Switch gameplay. So the next trailer is not really a trailer that most people have seen, I believe. It's just a simple trailer where it's just like a new Switch with the dock and a new controller that is Scarlet and Violet edition that's actually available right now, like the day this is uploaded, November 4th and everything. And it has the Naranja and Uva symbol, and it shows off Quaxley, Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and all that. They have them in the bag along with Hatana, Hatana, like I mentioned, for some reason in that as well, but along with Koraidon and Miraidon being on the dock. The Scarlet and Violet edition, available right now if you want it, so go get it if you want it. So, you know, you could get it like 2 weeks prior to Scarlet and Violet's release. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna cover today. Like, I was gonna cover more, but like I kind of ran out of time, so I'm gonna have to save it for next time, because the next breakdown analysis trailer is gonna be a very long video. I'll try to make it as short as I possibly can, but if it goes well, I might cover 5 trailers. I don't know how I'm gonna cover the 14-minute one, but holy crap, like, I don't know. Other than that, I didn't really cover the multi-screen thing all the way. Like, I realized I skipped a few, so let me just cover the rest. As you see on the multi-screen, there's the Scarlet trainer being approached by this veteran trainer. I think he got caught in his gaze. And by the way, when I mentioned that it was the Violet trainer doing the whole terraforming thing, it actually was a Scarlet trainer, I'm pretty sure, because he had orange. The one next to it has like a bunch of Cyclozars with some random cyclists, along with the Violet trainer with Miraidon. So yeah, if they have it, I'm pretty sure the evolutions to get Miraidon and Miraidon would be almost next to impossible. So yeah, I took a better look at this picture, and I'm pretty sure it's a Eevee and a Teddiursa, and I thought that was the third Pokemon, but I'm pretty sure it's grass, because it almost slightly looks like a Metapod, I'm not gonna lie, just on the shape of it, but I'm pretty sure it's grass. But in case it is a Teddiursa, because I'm pretty sure it is, that means Ursaring's in the game. I had pointed out this picture for sure, because I saw the Dunsparce, but for some reason I didn't point out the obvious Girafarig that's in the background, so you know, there's that. And yeah, that's pretty much all the multi-screen things that I didn't point out before. And it was kind of funny because throughout the whole video I keep mispronouncing Cerulege, like I did it 4 different times, so I'm not sure that was about. But one of Cerulege's moves, Bitter Blade, like I feel like there's a better word than bitter, because I feel like bitter is a very, like, I don't want to use the word vanilla, but I like for a better term, I feel like bitter is the most vanilla word for dark, so I prefer to just call it Bane Blade, because I feel like it fits better, me personally at least. And this is the first video that we introduced Geeta, and yeah, if you remember from the other trailer breakdown analysis videos, I did kind of imply that it's Geeta that summoned Koraidon and Miraidon, because I really think it is Nemona's house, but not exactly Nemona's house. It's more likely Geeta's house, because I'm pretty sure they're sisters, because it only makes sense that Geeta is the most skilled trainer in Paldea, that she's able to like have some type of connection with Koraidon and Miraidon because she's such a great trainer, that she's rich enough to own this giant purple house, because she's the director of the Pokemon League, she organized all the gyms and all that, like she is in command of all that. I'm just not sure like what the connection is with the Scarlet and Violet trainer, like almost like she owes something to that family. It's go like, oh well, you know, since I'm in debt to you, I'll let your son accompany a friend of mine, but just be warned, my friend is really judgmental and he'll have to test you to see if you're worthy to be companioned with, because he's not gonna just buddy up with anyone. So it's still really interesting in my opinion, and I'm almost certain it is Geeta's Koraidon and Miraidon. It's gonna be interesting, I'm pretty sure. And I'm also starting to think that Penny is Mila. You know, they could be sisters, but I feel like that's too coincidental to be like, oh, these are sisters and these are sisters or something like that. But maybe it's not, I'm not sure, because like the reason the thought crossed my mind that Penny could be Mila is that, you know, if she does her hair and takes off her glasses and puts up makeup and put different clothes, she could very easily look like Mila. Like I feel they got like almost the same face structure and everything. Who knows? I'm not sure. Maybe that's why she's away from school all the time. Maybe she's the one covering the fire crew. That I don't know, because maybe she's debating whether she wants to be in Team Star. But then again, maybe she is already a part of Team Star. Maybe she's one of the commanders. I don't know. That's just a thought that crossed my mind. It may not be true at all. There's just so many sister moments in Scarlet and Violet. We'll see. The last thing I wanted to point out, because I had talked about it with the whole Psyduck Golduck thing with the terraforming, I'm pretty sure that there is Pokemon that evolve via terraforming, because if you really think about it, if Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing is a thing, and like there's Mega Evolutions, you would think that there's some Pokemon that revolve around evolving via terraform. I just kind of wish, because you see it in the anime all the time, that mid-battle, that there's a Pokemon that's capable of evolving right then and there. That would be really cool, because there's a lot of anime moments that were like that, like a Chimchar evolves into a Monferno or whatever, and I'm pretty sure Pokemon can do that because they're able to change forms pretty easily, and they know how to code abilities where it just happens happens mid-battle, like, you know, when Galiciapod has his emergency exit, boom, he leaves. Whenever Wishy-Washy is in the battle, you know, if he gets hit too much, boom, he's back to his original form. Like, I feel like it's very possible to have Pokemon evolve mid-battle. It's just the tricky part is all like when to do it and how to do it, because like the experience bar isn't a thing till after you kill a Pokemon, you know. But that's another thing, like that could be it right there. After you kill a Pokemon and it levels up, boom, you could evolve it, and maybe that would be helpful. It's just what I mean more so in the anime, I noticed it in the middle of the same fight that usually it happens and he evolves or whatever. But for terraforming, I don't want the pseudo Wudo thing just to stop there, just for Braces to be like, oh, it's truly Wudo and that's it. It's just a pseudo Wudo in a terraform and he's just naming it that, like as an art thing. Wouldn't it be cool if Braces calls it that because he's onto something, that maybe this is something to evolve pseudo Wudo into a actual truly Wudo? Because that would be cool if like if you end up rematching, like pseudo Wudo comes across very differently, because that'd be really cool. And if so, what are other Pokemon that could evolve via terraforming? I would like to think that like a lot of these gym leaders have covered Pokemon in the past that they forced to terraform and it actually evolves into something different. Maybe Grusha has something. Those are just my thoughts. What do you guys think? So if you like this episode, don't forget to press that like button. If you really like this episode, please consider subscribing. If you haven't considered subscribing yet, please watch another one of my videos. I play the video games, and if you like playing video games, you might like my stuff. With that being said, if you don't have a Switch already or just want the Scarlet and Violet edition Nintendo Switch, then it is available right now as I'm talking. It is out. Other than that, if you want to see me play Pokemon Scarlet in a Let's Play, then say so and I'll go ahead and do it, but I need time. I need you guys to tell me now that you want to see me play Pokemon Scarlet, because I don't want to rush to a Target to get an Elgato. I don't think they even sell it, but Best Buy, whatever the hell, last second before the game comes out. If you guys are like, no, yeah, I want to see it, let me know ahead in advance and all that, and I assure you it's going to be a very different experience than you've seen from anyone else. White Tigers and Dragons, see you, and you've been scarred by the night. Hum.